Hello, beautiful souls. This is Myra with Happy Soul Happy Life. Namaste. So, I want to see the energy, have an energy update, right? So, I think since we're in a, you know, we changed you know, our conscious, to a bigger understanding. I think that the transformations that we go through are not as harsh as they were when we started. And if you're barely starting your journey, don't worry, the transformations will get um you know smoother and smoother and smoother. Okay, so but with any transformation, right, any lesson learned, right? Any cycle ending, it's a great relief, okay? I mean, if you have gone through these ending of cycles, these lessons that, you know, of, that are needing to end and you end them, um, you know that the feeling is like weight is lifted off completely, okay? If you are going through this, know that your goal, remember that goal that you have set to, you know whatever made you awakened, right? Whether it was a person, whether it was a situation, whatever made you awaken, know that, set that goal. Okay, that's what I used to that's what I used to do at the beginning of my spiritual. And I think, about, it it changed. But having that set goal, made me thrive, right? Um, so don't give up, okay? And we are seeing that, things are changing in our lives, and it's changing in the outside as well. So we are in the right place. We're getting a lot of synchronicities. We're getting a lot of messages that we are on the right path, okay? So things will get, that reward of finishing that cycle, that lesson, it is so fulfilling. And I'll tell you a story. you know there was a situation that I had to release, okay? And don't get me wrong, I was really having a warfare, you know inside, is, what should I do? Should I let go? Should I not let go? But everything's going so good. But, if I let go, it's for our greatest good. Looking at the bigger picture, but it always seemed to try to bring me back into that fear of, what if I am, you know, this was my last chance, right? What if this is, you know, having it so close, why would I want to get rid of it, right? But then I had to think, I had to really, and yes, I was yes, no, see, no, see, no. Uh, it was very draining to me, and I'm pretty sure it was draining for the other person as well. But then I had to, with a lot of messages that I was doing in regards of my videos, right? It all led to, and especially what really, because I would say, okay, I'm not gonna go rush into a hasty decision, let me think about it and let me think about it. And maybe I was just delaying it, right? I was delaying it and just, you know, wanting to see if I would make the right choice. And also, maybe I wanted to see if I would get messages that maybe this wasn't the right choice. I just have to be honest, right? But no, everything pointed out, but it was, like I said, it was settled. Messages were given to me, but in a settled way, not in an abrupt way that I had to. I think before the full moon in Aquarius, I mean, sorry, the new moon, sorry, the new moon in Aquarius, um, earlier, it really did, that I needed to let go. And I think, when I got that message, and it was from my higher self, and I thought she would be a little bit more of a settle of in your face. But no, she literally said, you need to let go. This would be for the greatest good. I really wasn't expecting it, so that's why I kind of delayed it. But they, I gave myself time. They gave me self time. We all gave each other time. And, you know, when I got that message from yesterday from one of our spirit animals, it did say, you know, is this your journey, or is somebody else's journey? Are you doing it for somebody else? And I really had to really think about it. But not really think about it. It was like right there up in my face. So I'm like, ooh, I think it's talking about me. And yes, when something really doesn't feel right, when something is is draining you down, you know, you feel that heavy load, because that's what I felt. Yes, it made me, of course, happy when, with that person, right? But when we are not together, or when we're not, does it still feel the same? And and say I was really dragging, and probably that's why I would get a lot of, work in my throat chakra, right? And we always think that somebody else is at fault here. And you have to look at the bigger picture. And we both have a lot of things that we would need to grow, and we need to learn, and and lessons and experiences and stuff like that. And this you know change, this abrupt change, um we had I it was for the greatest good for both of us. And I think, me saying, I'm needing time, we're needing time. It's not it's we're needing time, because you know we're needing time to not rush into something that you know we will regret later, right? So, and just like how they said, if this is just a route, it's a detour, just know that you eventually get back to the path that we were on. So I also looked at that, but is what really triggered for me, it was, is this your path that you are walking in, or this is for somebody else? So that really got into my core. And even up to that, it was like, if I'm stepping you know on tippy toes, I was really, until we had that conversation. And I got one of the messages, as well as as for other readers, that because it, in one of the readers, it was yes, no, maybe, reconsider. So it really and then communication, and then it really related to me It really resonated with me because that's how I was. I was like a fish. I was flip-flopping, flip-flopping, fear of losing, once again when we're so close, but, and I knew that communication had to happen. Even though we were doing great with the communication, right? This had to, I guess, the talk. And say that we would do the talk a million other times, but nothing was finalized, right? And I guess, in both parts, if one doesn't finalize it, then we get back to where we were, right? But it just didn't feel right for me. It did not. And I had to express that, me being in this situation would not, it doesn't make me feel good. And if I made the right choice, it would make me feel good and good inside. But had to express that it did not. I was still feeling that, that feeling that does not feel good at all. And, divine intervention, because with this person in particular, I always have to kind of surrender. It's very hard for me. This lesson is very hard for me. This cycle was very hard for me to overcome, but I was ready for divine intervention to come in and surrendering to what is, even though I saw the signs, but, giving me that courage to go through it and be able to, to move forward and end this cycle, right? So, after I did that, whoo, I felt so relieved. So relieved. It felt so good. I hadn't felt like this in such a long time. I don't hate in all honesty, I care and love and everything, for this person. This person is the one that made me to, to go within and, start my self-discovery, my journey to self-discovery, and he might not understand it, but, when we not all awake, we all, we don't awaken at the same time, right? So I understand it, and as long as I understand it, then for me, that's what it all matters, because ultimately is your journey to self-discovery, right? So that is what, the cycle that I was ending or that lesson that I was ending. And, very grateful, and it just felt really, really good. Okay, so this is where it brings me to confirm with the next spirit animal. And this was also, it was in my dream. So it was the snake. So the snake has great information, and I'm still, as I'm doing that, there's still more information. So I would like to give you, the full of knowledge of what the snake is here for you. What I can tell you is the snake symbolizes life and rebirth. Okay. And that's what we are doing in this transformation. And also, when I was doing my meditation yesterday, it said speaking the truth. And it could be of this video that I did, and letting you guys know my experience of what I had to overcome to finish this cycle. And then hand activations. I don't know. There's nothing about these hands. and white. It could be that we are, you know, rewriting, we are re-emerging, we are rebirthing, you know, so that can be symbolic to that. But, you know, it's time for me to, get grounded again and do my vision boards and really on how I can be grounded. And this is not only in the spiritual, but in the physical. So anchoring, you know, from the realms, and anchoring it to the physical form, as above, so below. So vision boards, and getting how we get stabled, right? Balancing those two, the yin and the yang, balancing the spiritual and the physical form. How do we maintain that? For me, I would have to do vision boards and a list of what I would consider for myself to be able to be stable and live in peace and harmony with this. Okay? So take this detour time as a time for self-growth. Okay? So thank you guys, and love ya. Bye.